Hi, this is Melanie for Pardesi Reviews. I'm here to do a review of Mr. Majnu, starring Akhil Akkineni. So this film is a romance about a playboy. Thank you to everyone who commented on my trailer reaction to this film, because I had a feeling that the name Majnu was sort of like Romeo, which you said it was because it's the famous, epic love stories. Akhil I saw in the film Hello, and his elder brother is obviously Naga Chaitanya. They're trying to sell him as the next big thing. I think he did another film before Hello that I saw last year, and he was pretty good in Hello. And let me just tell you the things that I loved about this film. Nidhhi Agerwal is his love interest. So at first she just can't stand him because he's such a playboy, and she's just kind of disgusted about how every single woman falls for him. We've seen a little snippet of the scene when they're on the airplane together back to India, and they're sitting together, and she's just like, I'm not going to fall for you. So of course we know what's going to happen. This is a very familiar kind of love story. It had those elements of a young man not really being ready to settle down, not realizing he's in love because he's never felt it before. And, the intermission point is trouble in the relationship and then having to get back together. So we've seen similar stories to this before. I will just say the director of Venky Atluri's film last year, Toli Prema, also was a familiar story. Similar, college romance, then misunderstanding. So it was a little bit, of a story that we've seen before, but somehow it felt magical. And I didn't quite feel that spark of magic in this film. Nidhi was okay. She was good. Akhil was, I think, a little bit better than he was in Hello. I thought he was very good in the fight sequences. There was some wire work, people flipping around and whatever, and I thought he did quite well in that because he seems to be an extremely talented dancer. And let me just tell you, the first number where he's kind of, the first musical number, all the music was by Tama and S. And the first musical number is the title song, Mr. Majnu. My eyes almost popped out of my head because obviously it was airbrushed a little to emphasize, but the six packs, whoa, whoa. And I'm like, that can't be real. And then I just looked and saw on the internet the Instagram posts of him working out to get like that. I'm like, so this guy put in a lot of work to have that body, and his dancing was so crisp and it was really good. I could tell he was just putting his all into the dance numbers. Now, I always like Taman's music. I would say the songs in the second half I really liked the most. I'm going to be listening to this soundtrack. And the choreographer, I can't remember the choreographer's name, although it was all the titles at the beginning of the film were in English, so I'm sorry I don't remember, but I thought the choreography was really, really cool. There's one scene in a mall, and Nidhi's character, she's just, it's Nikki and Vicky. And Nikki is just thinking about how she loves him, and she just it's almost like a mini flash mob. Each scene, like the people around her start dancing, and then they settle down, and then they start dancing again. It was just the motions was that everyone was dancing was great. So it was mostly Akhil doing the dancing. Nikki had some, but not as much as Akhil. He was part of the film was set in London, and so he's dancing with a lot of white dancers. Some of them were very talented backup dancers. There's one song in the second half that Akhil does on a beach, in England. In fact, it's like the White Cliffs of Dover and everything. That was so cool, and there was two very talented white backup dancers dancing on the beach with him. That was one of the most impressive dance numbers to me. There's a really beautiful melancholy song where Nikki is strolling in this beautiful black gown through fields of lavender. Oh my gosh, it looks so beautiful. These purple lavender plants. Amazing. Okay, so those are all the things that I really liked. Every time there was a music number, I was in heaven. It was awesome. The story, though, it just didn't feel so fresh to me. And I love a good love story, but I don't know if I just completely got a spark between Nikki and Vicky all the time. The first half was pretty good, but they sort of set up a family drama thing and then just drop it. And it never comes back in the second half. And it involves Rao Ramesh and his son and so forth. I'm not even going to go into all of what it was, but it never comes back, and I kept expecting it to be a big plot point or something to happen with that in the second half, and it was just dropped. So that was kind of bizarre. I mean, there's some fight scenes that seem to just be there to show that he can do fight scenes, which he does very well, but I don't know. I mean, I just remember that explosive fight in Toli Prema where he went wailing on people with soda cans and paint cans and whatever. So there wasn't anything as inventive that, but because Akhil has the grace of a dancer, it looked super cool when he was doing fight scenes. If you remember, his elder brother had really pathetic fight scenes in one of the last films that I saw. I can't remember if it was Sabyasachi but I mean, like, I could, that was the fault of the director. Like, I could see that he was really missing. And this one, Akhil really made it look good. Like, he was really in there and being intense and fighting. So I feel like he's doing very well, but he's not Varun Tej. I mean, I really like Varun Tej, and he's so charming. But it was enjoyable. It was an enjoyable time pass. My measuring stick of it is measuring it up to Toli Prema by the same director last year, and that film is still so magical. But I do like Taman's soundtrack, and I will be continuing to listen to it. So I'll be anxious to hear, when you see the film, what you think about it. I did also think it had a good ending. The second half just wasn't as strong as some parts in the first half. So let me know what you thought about it in the comments if you've had a chance to see it. I am anxious to hear what you think. Follow me on Twitter at PardesiYT. Please subscribe to the Pardesi channel. And if you hit the bell when you subscribe, then you get a notification whenever I have a new trailer action or film review. And do remember, I post all of my reviews on the Pardesi podcast, which is available on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Podbean, and anywhere where you find podcasts.